Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's do it. Welcome, everyone. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, whatever you are. So let's make sure that the chat is there so we can share emotions. So hi, everyone. So this is going to be a very, very interesting talk. And I think we started it on a very good note. So yeah. So guys, please be active when it comes to chat. Questions, whatever, no slides, no presentations, no nothing. So this is a very open Q&A. We have a list of questions that we received, and that's what we're gonna do. So we had several hours to go through the list, and that's exactly what we're going to do. So we're going to handle all the questions, okay? So we'll try to cover as many questions as possible. So that's the idea. So please feel free. I see people are quite active when it comes to chat. And okay, also, let's not forget that, guys, yes, if you need translation, please use English, okay? Exactly. Yes, hopefully you guys all can hear me. Good, 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 good. Yes, give me thumbs up if you can hear me, if you can hear my translation. Good. So anyways, without further ado, let's do it. So I honestly believe that I mean, an hour and a half is more than enough. Let's see, we have lots of questions. Of course, we're gonna go through the whole list of questions, and the fun part will be at the end. We're gonna highlight and give you a couple of bombshells, a couple of really flash news, and you're gonna be blown away by what's in store. And of course, the top 3 best questions, of course, will have tokens awarded. So please stay with us till the end and ask your questions. So if we have time, of course, we're gonna go down the list, and so 3 of the best questions will have tokens awarded. So anyways, let's go down the list. So question 1. What kind of project is it in the first place, and why the hell are you doing this, and what kind of technology is it, and if I'm a regular user, where can I apply this technology? Give me case studies. Okay, excellent. And I'm just going through the list of questions, okay? I'm not imagining anything, so making anything up. So first of all, about the technology, what kind of project are we talking about here? So it's called Dexnet Technologies. So that's the name of the project. So the idea is that in simple terms, to answer the question as to why we're doing this. So we are the founders, we are the creators, and we are also the ones that are clients. There are founders, yes, the supply side and the demand side. So we're no longer a project. We are a full-blown company now, no longer a startup. So please don't call us a startup or a project. I mean, the project was a year ago. Now it's a full-blown company that is scaling up and gaining speed. So pretty much we're not even a startup anymore. So what kind of company is it? It's a company that's going to change and is changing as we speak the landscape of IT in a very dramatic way. So when it comes to transmission, processing, and storage of data. So we are creating a decentralized hardware-based platform, and based on that platform, we can basically deploy multiple software services, and these services are fully decentralized. Well, for example, one of such services that was the very first one is the so-called decentralized cloud storage. Now, the answer is, why are we doing this? So as a company, of course, we're doing this to create an unprecedented, basically, data storage technology that's never been done before, which makes data storage safe. Second question, who needs this? Companies and people and individuals that care about the safety and security of their data. A company or an individual, when they store data in a regular cloud, they actually store it on an actual server that is actually located in a data center, and this server is being accessed by pretty much whoever with knowledge of accessing services. Okay, so the so-called cloud, quote-unquote, based is actually server based. So this data is not just yours, but can be anybody else's who can access this data. Okay, so that's the difference between them and us. So number one, data security. Number two, individuals that don't want to store anything as such, but they have internet, they have power, and they have a small storage where they can place our node. And by placing our node, by installing our node, you get tokens in exchange. Yeah, and these tokens that you get in exchange, you can actually pay for the services that we have in the pipeline for you, or you can sell it on an exchange if the price is right at the moment of selling the token. That's in a nutshell. Okay, that's what the whole thing is all about. So next question. Okay, so what was your plan in terms of the sequence, and then how did you come up with this idea to turn a router into a Dexnet device? Let me paraphrase, if I understand you correctly, of course. So, okay, what were you planning to gain out of Dexnet originally? Yeah, so let me paraphrase it that way. So the original idea was to get a decentralized storage solution, because that is the birthplace of this technology. When me and my team were developing a meta universe, and we're thinking about how to make content secure, content of our users, we thought that it has to be stored not on a physical server, but in a different form, in a different way. And this different way, we envisioned it as basically meta boxes, yeah, that we keep inside of our community, which makes it more safe. So, but when we actually designed and created this technology, it turns out that it essentially goes far beyond our needs. Actually, there's pretty much every business out there in the world that's going to need it, or any people that are even remotely related to data confidentiality or financial data will need this as well. And then it evolved into Dexnet as you know it today. Now, how this idea came about? So as I've explained, so basically we converted a router into a Dexnet. So it wasn't the original idea. It wasn't like, okay, let's take a router and turn it into a node. No, of course not. And by the way, you're not getting a Wi-Fi router in a classic sense of the word. You need to connect it to your home Wi-Fi router. So it's like an add-on, but eventually, of course, our node will operate not only as a hotspot based on LAN network, but also store data inside of it, okay, in a decentralized way. So that's what is going to happen. So can you explain a Dexnet to a 5-year-old? Great question. By the way, when I talked to my daughter and was on a cruise liner, we were sort of doing a vacation. We had a promo event, and we had, I don't remember how many people, we had like 200, 300 people, and we were cruising on the liner. So, and I had to explain, my older daughter asked me like, Dad, like what exactly do you do, this company? So, and in simple terms, I'm trying to understand, trying to explain, you know, and I look into her eyes and understand that she has no clue. She doesn't understand what I'm talking about. So I had to make sure that I can explain it, like dumb it down to a 5-year-old level. So that's what I'm going to do. And hopefully this will make sense. Once again, so you, me, everywhere, we store data. It can be on a disk, it can be on a flash card, it can be USB based, it can be on a cloud. Yeah, so we all store data, whether you like it or not. But when you transfer data into a cloud, you assume by default that the cloud is this mythical thing out there in the sky where it's somehow stored out there because it's a cloud, right? It's called cloud, but a cloud is actually a server. It's a computer. It's a physical device, very powerful device with powerful CPU and powerful storage that is specifically in the designated space with power supply, backup supply, powerful internet connectivity, and it's an actual thing. It's a hardware thing serviced by people. And these people can have access. They can look into the data, they can work with this data, etc. So, and this server has physical vulnerability. It can get flooded, it can be broken, it can be caught on fire, whatever. Data can be lost. Then this server also has the legal information. It can be arrested, seized, taken to the police, etc., etc. And your data, and you may not have any idea that it's actually happened. You like a completely independent person because you had nothing to do with what's happened. It was somebody else's fault. But because it's stored on that server, maybe it was a bad guy and they took away the server, took it to police station during the investigation. So, and you sort of got thrown under the bus. So people who know what I'm talking about understand this is dangerous, especially if your business depends. Like, for example, you're selling flowers online. You're in a very happy business because you give flowers, right? And this motherfucker used to store porn pictures on that server. So police comes in, arrested, and along with your data about the website. So website is not available, your service is not available, you cannot buy, you cannot sell, you can't do shit. So basically, you are taken hostage by the fact that somebody else's data was stored and they were illegal. So we designed a technology, basically, and this technology is unique. There's nobody else out there in the world that can do it. We're the only ones that can actually do it. I'm not saying it's going to happen like perpetually, in perpetuity, but because we're the first ones, other guys have to do catching up. Well, try catching up Google, yeah? So you can do like a search engine, whatever, and index whatever websites out there. So, but nobody cares. Nobody cares about Google #2 because everybody already has Google. So we are the pioneers. So we started this market. So, and all the other competitors, they need to figure out what the hell is going on. And we'll be ions ahead of them. So, and when we get big, when we get critical mass, so we'll dominate the market, basically, because we pioneered it and we were so ahead of everybody else. So, in a nutshell, so when you send a file into our decentralized storage, it's like a container. So imagine you have picture. Imagine it's a picture that is basically encoded into it's like a digital envelope, and it's sealed. You cannot open it because it's sealed. You need to open the envelope to look at the picture. So imagine that they took the envelope and shredded it. So you get these puzzles, like multiple little bits and pieces of this envelope. So all these tiny pieces, they've taken it to different people across the globe. Imagine. And these bits of this puzzle are stored all over the world. Imagine one of the apartments where the bit of this puzzle is stored is yours. So they gave you a bit of this puzzle for safekeeping. Even if you open that bit and look at you don't understand what's going on because it's a little piece of the full picture. But because you're storing this bit in your home on your node, we are going to accrue tokens for storage. You need these tokens so you can pay for the services that are going to be in the pipeline. For example, next time you want to store your files, sure, you can actually use tokens to pay for the disk space. And when I need to reassemble the picture as a client, you're going to get a request. So basically, and I'm being metaphorical, of course, all this puzzle is being reassembled, being re-glued together, and you open up and out comes the picture. So I'm the only one who can see it. And it was stored in a decentralized way. So it was not a single server that you can break into and collect my picture or get lost or whatever. So that's the idea. In a nutshell, that's how the technology actually works. Yeah, even more so, the bits and pieces that you said, that shredded envelope, they actually Xeroxed, they actually copied, and actually they're duplicates. Yeah, so it's not just one single copy, but there are also duplicates. And by the way, if the courier arrives for the bit of puzzle and you're not home, by the way, or if you lost it, there are duplicates. So there are multiple copies of every piece of the shredded envelope. So anyways, next question. So Dexnet is the next sort of stage of economic relationship, or is it something else? What about the government? So what about the law enforcement? How can they allow for decentralized storage and things like that? How are you even doing this, considering all the regulation? Great question. Great question. To allow or prohibit what we're doing, you need the ground for that. What is the ground for that? Violation of the law or any suspicion of that. So we're completely legal, fully legitimate within the law, and not just one country or international law. So, and everything we do doesn't violate any legislation of any particular jurisdiction. So, and the whole thing that the data is owned by whoever has uploaded. So you and only you own the data. You're the only one who has access to the data because you upload it into our private storage. It's like, remember, it's like imagine that you basically record data on a USB flash, like little flash card that you connect to your laptop. So you basically recorded some data. So there's not a single law that will ban you to store any data on that flash card. There's actually a law on data privacy that actually protects your rights or the secrecy of data exchange. So all we do basically is create a platform and the infrastructure and the connectivity so that an enabler that gives you this ability. So if I have this right, and I do have this right, it is called the right to secrecy. So I can use whatever means necessary, including technical means, so that I can collect it, do it, share it, whatever. So all we do is serve as an enabler so that the users can actually exercise the legal right to store and transfer and use their own data. Next question. Are we not going to be fined for using the node? Is there any risk of going into prison? Do we need any special license in any particular country? It's basically the same question, but there are two parts to it. So let me handle the first one. No, you don't need a license. You don't need a license to buy or use that node at home, at your home. Like, for example, a Wi-Fi router. You buy a Wi-Fi router, so in an electronics store or like a CD disk or whatever memory disk, you don't need a license for that. But the same token, we don't violate any laws. You cannot, they can come to you anytime, not necessarily for being a bad guy. You know how the governments are. So no one is safe, but it has nothing to do with our technology. So it's completely legal. So also imagine that a Secret Service comes and says, look, guys, we don't like your technology because we are very suspicious of that and we cannot control it. What if, basically, in other words, what if KGB or Secret Service or MI6 or the feds or whatever come to you and say, hey guys, this potentially can be used by corruptionists, by money laundering, by terrorists, etc. Give us access to your device or else we're gonna put you to prison, we're gonna kill you, we're gonna prosecute you, etc., etc. So what's your answer? Oh yeah, would love to, but we can't. Even if I love to, I say, guys, even if you torture me, I don't care. The technology is built in such a way that there's no way I can give you any access, even if you're a representative of a special service or a KGB or whatever. Look, if we had a physical service, sure. If we had like perpetrators breaking in, and sure, I can help. Of course, I can cooperate with the special service, of course, right, with the private investigators so that, you know, we can follow the letter of the law. But the technology doesn't allow for that, and nobody can track who's using the technology. It's like a it's like a kitchen knife. A kitchen knife, you can use it to cut bread, or you can kill somebody. But it doesn't mean that the kitchen knife is something bad. It's just a tool, you know, and a tool can be, it's like guns don't kill people. Apes with guns kill people. Same idea here. So the technology is completely safe, so please don't worry about it. So as the owner of the node, you're not in violation of any legislation out there. So for them to come to us and say, look guys, we don't like your technology, we're very suspicious, this can be potentially used by terrorists. Well, look, we live in a state with laws, okay? Somebody likes it, somebody doesn't like it. It's not about like or dislike, it's about law. We don't violate any legislation. You need a legal ground to come and claim that we are in violation of any law. Just to say and say, we'd like to control you. I want to control a lot of things, but you know, it's your wish list. So am I violating the law? No. Are you going to violate the law by imposing any rules on me? Yes. So basically, I think we're square. Next question, please help us understand how the DEX technology can be used in IT, telecom, banks, and other big organizations. So what is the best way to deliver information that they actually need this technology? Well, it's a very easy answer. Look, whether it's IT, telecom, or bank, or any other financial institution, there are certain types of data that need to be protected, not because they have something to hide, but because It's not always good when this information is shared with third parties or not very good people and people that can actually affect your business in a negative way. Or, for example, imagine you have an innovation, a proprietary technology, IP that you would like to protect. And by the way, myself and Igor, by the way, we've witnessed personally a very interesting story. Let me very quickly share the story with you. A guy comes to our office and he's a representative of Abu Dhabi royal family. So, and these guys basically developed a flammables, hydrogen storage technology. It's a hydrogen storage technology, and it actually allows for such safe storage that even if a rocket hits this storage facility, the hydrogen will not explode. So, and this costs, the technology itself, the IP costs tremendous amount of money. And because this technology was not on Dexnet, but in the regular cloud, it was actually stolen. And they lost a tremendous amount of money. They lost several $1 million trying to get it back. So, so this guy, representative of the royal family, came to our office. We spoke for several hours. So, and we agreed that we will provide safe space. And whether you're IT, telecom, government, whatever. So all companies have classified data or proprietary data, and there's always competition. Of course, people would like to get hold of this data, so they need it, regardless of are you going to basically whether you like it or not. It's a pain. Cybersecurity is a major factor. So, and our solution is a very elegant solution to their pain. Okay, next question. So, are we going to pay taxes on income earned during this project? So can you give us any guarantees that this is not a scam, not a pyramid? Okay, let's do one by one. What are the chances? Chances for what? Chances for launching? 100%. The project is already launched. It's on. It's already airborne. Is it going to be global? Very much likely. So it doesn't depend on me or Igor only, but also on you. We together can make this global. Are we going to pay any taxes on income earned? It depends on the jurisdiction, of course. Whether you're Russia or Abu Dhabi or Dubai, whatever, you always pay taxes. If you don't pay taxes, you violate the law. If you don't want to pay taxes in a particular country, move to another country and pay taxes there. But basically, in this world, at this day and age, people pay taxes. And let me tell you that I actually came up to realize that if you're a law-obedient citizen, you're supposed to pay taxes. But okay, for example, I was young, I just had no understanding of that. Like, look, am I supposed to pay all these taxes? No, what the hell? As a matter of fact, the earth is round. It's like renting an apartment. So you're renting an apartment and you pay for the rent, right? But you don't like this apartment because the landlord is an asshole or whatever, but it doesn't give you the right to avoid payment. So maybe choose another one. Okay, move to another country, another part of the city, but you need to carry your duty and pay for the rented apartment, whether it's rent, whether it's taxes, etc., etc. It's just part of being a good citizen. So you can declare these tokens if you want to, and if the tax authority will accept it as an asset, I will put a tax basis on, against it. Then you will pay a certain amount of taxes. But if the token doesn't generate any profit, it is very hard to actually accept it as a tax basis and therefore pay any taxes. For example, you can declare Bitcoin, but our token is not a Bitcoin, so it's still early. But if you're really excited about paying taxes, you can go to the tax authority and I'm sure they'll be very happy about it. So what are the guarantees, or what insurance can you give that this is not a scam and not a pyramid? Okay, let's talk about scams. I'm a professional. So if you're talking about Egyptian pyramids, we're not a pyramid for sure. But if you're talking about scams or financial scams, well, scams are illegal. People go to prison for scams. We are not in violation of any laws. So we're not a scam. So we are actually operating from Dubai mainland, not a free zone. We are white, clean. And there's no reason for me to play tricks in the 21st century. It is much easier to make money being honest. And that's what I claim, basically. It's not about karma or any of this shit. So just being egoistical, I'm saying that, look, if the only person in the world I care about is me, it's much easier to make money when I'm honest with people rather than scamming them. So how many nodes are there? Okay, as of yesterday, we had 250 nodes. That's like a round number, 250. Yes, I see you excited. So not 251, not 249, but 250. 250. I think today it's closer to 300 nodes, because every day we're making shipments. We've shipped more than 700 nodes, and we're getting more and more and more every day. So more and more nodes are connected. So how many nodes you've delivered? More than 700, like I said. So what's the idea? So how are you going to accrue tokens during the first round? Is it going to be on the first day of a month, or once you hit a certain level of nodes connected to the network? Tell us about the mechanics of it, please. Yeah, Igor, please take it away. The moment we hit 1,000 nodes connected to the network, that's what we're going to start paying. It's not the first or the 10th or any month, whatever. So we need to hit that round number, 1,000 nodes. And that's when we start paying tokens. So tell us about the traffic. Is it 1 gigabyte or whatever? So it's very difficult to talk about traffic and the amount of traffic. It's going to be very case by case. It depends on how often you're going to get access to your information, or how often you're going to download or upload, then how often you're going to transfer information between the nodes. It's all case by case, and it's very experiential. So right now, for example, we have 250 nodes connected to the network, but we only store data that belong to us for servicing the nodes. Or let's say that, for example, the day before yesterday, for example, I have a Gleason card uploaded. Yeah, we just for the test of it. Okay, so our software developers, for example, uploaded some pictures and videos from the vacation. So we're just testing it. It's not a single client has actually been allowed to enter the cloud. We're still in the test phase. Okay. Next question. So what's the philosophy of your company, and can we trust your values? How can we make sure that you're not going to blackmail people and users in the future once we get in the project? Look, this is based on win-win and mutual trust. This is based on personal relationships. So, and I'm of course very much uncomfortable about potential scams, and I don't want to be disappointed myself or any of my friends. Look, I understand your point, and we basically design and program our own world. I mean, the way you say it, it's not a question, it's a statement. It's your choice. I don't share your choice, and I don't share your vision of the world. What is the guarantee that there's no back door that could be potentially used to scam or to control or to blackmail users? Okay, let's take a step back. What if a potential, investigator or police or special agencies or KGB comes and starts the negotiations, quote unquote? Look, if we had a back door, this would be vulnerable for everyone, for me, for my team, for you, for everyone. Because if we had a back door to the system, as you believe, that means that we can have access to anybody and get access to any data. But look, why would I hurt myself, my team, and my business and everybody else? It doesn't make any sense to me. So it's much easier for me to make sure that it's impenetrable, and to make sure I can sleep well and not worry. Let me give an example. Torrent technology. For example, the moment torrent technology came about, many companies, many governments, many special services, and many corporates immediately went into it, because that technology was used to pirate content, like pirated movies, pirated songs, pirated etc. So if it's on the server, yes, you can delete it, but if it's in a torrent network, you cannot delete it. And companies started to freak out because but the developer of the technology is a multi-billionaire, and he lives in Switzerland. He designed the technology, and he's in Switzerland. Whether you like it or not, you want to break it, you want to delete it, whatever. And he lives in Switzerland. He's alive and well. So, and yes, this torrent technology is being used for scams or for whatever. Sure, it's not my problem. Go complain to those who actually use it to violate the law. I created the technology. It's not my problem. That's what the founder of Torrent said. Look, I designed the technology not to scam people or to steal IP, whatever. It's not my problem. You're the only one who knows. It's like, imagine you can find, Imagine you are fined or arrested for downloading an illegal song and storing it on a flash card. If nobody knows about it, then nobody will know about it unless you share it. And if you're a law-abiding citizen, then ideally you should go to the police and say, look, guilty as charged, I downloaded a song and I didn't pay for it, but nobody would do it in their right mind. So our technology is completely safe. So whatever content you store, we have no idea whether it's legal or illegal content. Please don't use illegal content. Please don't steal other people's IP. Don't steal pirated movies or whatever content, and don't store it on our network. But we have no way to verify it. That's your values, not ours. So next question was from Yeva. Yeva, so you asked this question, please don't worry about it. It's got to be fine. Next one, Igor Mikhailichenko. So how did you do it? I mean, how did you even execute it? I don't know how to answer it. What do you mean how we executed it? I mean, where's the will, there's a way. So we do what we do, and step by step you get ahead. That's it. You know, that's what we do. That's how you get things done. You do it step by step. What's the difference between Dex Mobile and competitors? Oh, Igor, I can talk about it for hours. Look, this is an endless story, but in a nutshell, let me just say that you don't need a VPN when you use Dexnet, okay, when you use Dex Mobile. You don't need a violation. You're not violating any law. You don't need to install VPN, which is, by the way, considered illegal in many countries. So you can use Dex Mobile and use internet. So whatever traffic that's channeled for Dex Mobile is encoded. And mobile telecom companies that channel this traffic have no technical access to decipher, to decode it, regardless of whether it's legal or illegal. It's impossible to decode it. Now, Dex Mobile is not connected to any particular mobile operator. We use base stations of mobile operators around the world. We can basically hop from station to station. And that's why it's very difficult to track a location. So, for example, even inside the system as owners, we only see the country where the SIM card is, not the city. Okay, so what's the Dex from the competitors? So let me, well, first of all, Dex wallet is the safest wallet in the world. And I'm not exaggerating. How did we do it? So I believe that we'll have a separate webinar once we're going to present the wallet itself. And then you're going to see why I can actually make such claims, that this is the safest wallet in the world, which is true, by the way. Okay, moving on. Moving on. So lots of questions coming in, and hopefully we have time to answer all these questions. So anyways, we will switch the chat back on, of course. But Alexey, what's going to happen if you are going to be taken hostage by extraterrestrials? It's fine. If Martians or evil UFO people or aliens actually abduct me, I will sell this technology to them, and trust me, they will be our best customers. So don't worry, I'm not going anywhere, and definitely not going to be abducted by aliens. What steps can be made to improve internal cooperation and motivation of our employees and partners, and to improve overall performance of the company? And when can we actually buy eSIMs for smartphones? Okay, first part. When it comes to the company itself, everything is built in the right way. I mean, the way we are at the moment, we have corporate ethics, we have corporate code of conduct, and we have our culture. And what I appreciate the most is that our employees are not just here for the money. It's like from 9 to 5 every day. Okay, I go from here to here because that's what I'm paid for. But every employee, even the support line, that are not very deeply involved in the technology, okay? I mean, people who you complain to and speak to, they care about the company too, not just for the clients that they speak to and for the support department. See, so it's just like support, we share a lot, whether it's IT department, logistics department, or whatever other department. The idea is that we try to perform at our best. For example, yesterday, our Dubai office was closed at 11:30. So think about it. People were there at 11:30, almost by midnight. Okay, they were supposed to come back, to go back home at 6 p.m. But our software developers, for example, operate 24/7. Despite the fact that I insisted, look guys, there's work time and there's family time. So Sunday is family time, but they stay at work. They keep working. Think about it. So people that are so passionate about it that they actually keep working, and even on weekends, even on Saturdays and Sundays. And I think that's great. This is a very great environment. So, okay, where can we actually buy eSIMs for our phones? Elsa, I will cover it a little bit later. The moment we are going to present the project, Dex Mobile, yeah, that's when you can immediately start buying the eSIMs. Right now, we have a test group. I think we have like 8, maybe 10 eSIMs. It was like and this is just for the test. Okay, we're testing. We look at vulnerabilities and we see what can be improved, etc., etc., etc. So what will be the terms and conditions for developers and realty agents? Okay, when it comes to terms and conditions for the property owners or for real estate developers or developers, I think we can handle it in a separate, right now we're in the process of developing the strategy and the terms and conditions when it comes to developing companies. So that's a standalone topic, and like I said, we can have a separate conversation about it. But I mean, we're very, very close to presenting it. And tomorrow, by the way, I'm going to have a meeting with a major developer here. Alexey knows about it. I mean, we've been preparing to have this meeting for quite a long time. So at about 11 or 12 a.m., I'm going to meet this major developer. So we'll do the test and see how the strategy can actually come about. This is going to be our first major developer client. And then we'll see how it goes, and we're going to scale it up. But please be patient, and we'll come back to you with more updates. Stay tuned for that. Can Dexnet be used by government services in different countries? And if yes, what is the benefit? Sure, yes, it will be used by government services and governments around the world. Look, I'm trying to give you more data, but I'm trying to compartmentalize information. In a nutshell, because we're still in a negotiation mode, I think the first ever government that's going to use our technology is UAE, of course, and India. They will be in the forefront, because there we are in negotiations about integrating this technology. So, and I think that at the moment we get case studies from India and UAE, everybody else will join suit. So how can Dexnet technology help international business development, considering our current limitations, sanctions, etc.? Look, guys, it's all case by case, of course. And for us, it's very, very important to make sure that we don't violate any sanctions. If indeed we're talking about sanctions or whatever, this has to stay within the law. So we show technology as is. We disclose all the opportunities and capabilities and functionalities, and then it's up to the business to figure out, which parts are applicable in their particular situation. So where do you see ourselves in 5 years in terms of financial? Well, look, we'll see how it goes. Of course, we'll see how it goes. It's very unfair to make any projections, but we leave no stones, every stone unturned. We make everything possible to make sure that you will be as wealthy as possible. Erkan wants to know from Turkey, do you see any AI? Look, I don't know whether it's good or bad for the technology. And we had some negotiations with guys that want to deploy their services, the third-party services, using AI on our platform. I'm not a big fan. I said no. And so far, I'm holding the line, and I don't want to engage in that. The reason why is that when we have static data stored on our technology and nobody has access to this data other than the owner of the data, I can sleep well. But the moment you engage artificial intelligence, and artificial intelligence is a self-learning mechanism, it's not a pre-programmed script. The AI can actually self-learn, and therefore in their analysis they can actually apply data that it currently doesn't. So through empirical study, by analyzing data, artificial intelligence creates new data. So, and that's very dangerous. That's a very dangerous case. As of today, look, take ChatGPT 4. You know that the core of ChatGPT is smarter than any human in the world. Think about it in 5 years. It's unfathomable. We actually have no idea how deep the rabbit hole is. I think that the artificial intelligence is the beginning of the end. It's the beginning of the end days. And if your AI is on the server, then you can disconnect the server, of course. But if AI is in the Dexnet, then everybody's fucked, to be honest with you, because there's no way you can control it. There's no way you can shut it down. It's like a Terminator movie. But with the owner of ChatGPT, by the way, you know that he has a blue case always with him. Do you know what's this and what's inside that blue case? Google it, by the way. I think he sleeps with that blue case. I don't want a life like that. Trust me. He's always carrying that blue suitcase. What's inside that blue case? Look, will nodes be upgraded? Sure, of course, they will be upgraded, and we keep upgrading it. By the way, even the ones that are already installed are being upgraded as you sleep, by the way. The software is being upgraded, of course, because the security is supposed to be evolving, of course, because the world is evolving. So software part is being upgraded all the time. So you said that the more nodes are connected to the network, the higher the price of a token, or the other way around. Look, we want to make sure that the price of a token goes up. Will it continue to go up in perpetuity? I don't know. Will it go down? Maybe yes. Will it go back again? Sure. It's a market. It goes up and down. It's like waves. It goes up and down, up and down. There's certain fluctuations in volatility. But a general trend, if you look at the big picture, big time frame, then yes. So we we did the audit of our tokenomics. There's the smart contract audit, and there's the tokenomics audit. So, and the audit company gave us 2A. Basic, 3 A's, we were rated 2A. And this is a very rare case where a company received a AA rating. It's almost 10 out of 10. Swiss banks are rated AAA. Think about it. And we are rated AA. I mean, there are very few countries in the world that are rated AA. And you know, tokenomics is a higher risk economics, and we are rated AA. And that means that they're very, very secure. And the audit we did, and again, I'm assuming, it's the probability. I don't want you to actually take me out of side context. Well, because, oh, Alexey said that the token's supposed to cost this and that. No. As a result of the audit, over the next 10 years, the price of this token will actually cost more than $100 per token. And that's based on and only 2 services, a cloud service and the eSIM, were part of the audit. All other services in the pipeline were not part of the scope of this audit because they're still coming up. And over the next 2 weeks, we will also unleash other multiple services. But even based on those 2 services, the audit company actually rated us AA and built a projection that over the next 10 years, the price of this token will actually hit $100 or more. So next question from Mikhail. Well, look, I actually see that the nodes are being bought not because it's a cool technology, not because it's cool services, but because node brings tokens. People buy it for the tokens and they want to resell these tokens, and that's it, and be done with it. My, of course, idea is that people who are going to receive tokens, I want, look, if you're going to sell it, I will buy it immediately from you, and I'll be very happy about it, because in the future it's going to be much, much more expensive. So if you're going to do it, it's a very stupid move. So don't sell your tokens right now, because look, but if you do it on an exchange, do it, I will buy it immediately. And Igor here will buy it immediately. If you buy this device, sell the tokens, I will buy it immediately, because it's going to cost a lot more. So look, I don't sell my tokens, and I'm going to hold on my tokens for the next 5 years. Look, I'm going to buy it all, buy out, because we have very few tokens, by the way. If you look at the tokens generally, so you look at the average companies, they talk about like 30, 40 of all tokens, and the rest is a free float. And we actually only hold 6%, so the rest is free float. So, and that's why, of course, I'll be happy to buy it from you on the market. So if you're going to sell it, please let me know. I'll be happy to sell. I'll be happy to buy it. And by the way, when it comes to tokenomics, you don't see it officially, but you'll see it in smart contracts. So the team tokens are locked for 3 years. Think about it. And then they're going to be unlocked over the next 12 months in equal parts over the next 4 years. There's 4 years. My tokens will not be available to me for the next 4 years because they're locked based on a smart contract. So yes, I'm fully motivated, because why would I actually pursue such stringent terms like locking it? I mean, I could have locked it for 6 months or 12 months, but instead I decided to lock it for 4 years. Think about it, 3 years full lock and then unlocking it in 12 equal parts. So there's so many ways to make money in this world, and why on earth would I sacrifice my own capital and my time? So the very reason that I'm holding to my tokens and I actually have a 4-year lock on it means that I'm serious about it. So how are you going to service the nodes, considering that you're going to be much bigger across the globe? Question from Sergey. Sergey, yes, it's going to be a different animal, and we are looking at certain countries that are leading in terms of sales, and in these countries we're currently in negotiations with other people that can actually produce, manufacture it locally. So the whole idea, and service it also locally. So we are currently producing and assembling and doing everything in Dubai. So the device is made in Dubai, the service in Dubai, the helpline is in Dubai. So everything is shipped is out of Dubai. But in the future, of course, if we see that a certain country leads in a particular country, let's say in India, for example, let's say that we're seeing that India leads in terms of sales. It makes sense to actually, as a next step, to create a new logistics hub and production hub in India. So the device will be made in India, serviced in India, and the helpline will also be in India. Or maybe it's going to be Kazakhstan, or maybe Ukraine, or maybe some other country, who knows. In that case, that's where we're going to go. So it'll be local production and local servicing and local helplines for these devices. So we're going to go region by region, country by country, depending on the sales dynamics. Next question from Dennis. So when and after, at what level of nodes can I actually unplug my laptop and actually replug it into this network and use it instead of the internet? Well, this can happen over the next 10 years, maybe sooner, maybe later, I don't know. For this to happen, you need to reach critical mass. And what are we doing to that? We are placing nodes so that they actually overlap each other up to 5.5 kilometers direct visibility. If, for example, is blocked by concrete or whatever, or high-rise buildings, divide this number by 2. The moment we see that the nodes are placed across all countries and continents so that they actually overlap each other, by 5.5 kilometers in direct visibility, then within the or there are certain clusters being formed, then these services will become available within these clusters, and that you can have access to these clusters without accessing public internet. So that means that you can disconnect your node from Wi-Fi router because you don't need it anymore, and just being connected via your laptop to your node, you can actually use the internal Dexnet as basically Wi-Fi. So, and Wi-Fi function will be activated later. So the idea that you can actually connect your laptop to Dexnet local area network and get access to all services. And if, for example, you need access to a third-party centralized service, for example, Instagram or Facebook or whatever, in that case, of course, you will need public internet. And that where you're going to use classic connectivity to public internet. So it's the long-term track, and please don't focus too much on that. That's not the crust of the whole thing. Unfortunately, I see a lot of misconceptions. A lot of guys thinking that, oh, our node is going to be, to this via the satellite connectivity like Swarm, for example, it's going to basically use as hotspot and actually service it, even if you're high in the mountains in a radius of 5.5 kilometers. That's not true. So go to Dexnet.1. for example, and please only use official data. Do not create stories that don't exist. And if somebody told you that, that guy is lying or is misleading you, or it just doesn't understand the reality. So please use facts instead of stories. Okay, so we will eventually become that. We will be there, but not over the next couple of years. It'll take time for us to and it requires a different critical mass. At what moment will you have your own blockchain? So when are we going to have stacking? Should I have more than 2 nodes in one location? No, speaking of blockchain, let me tell you that we've been working on this for quite some time. And we are now basically figuring out basic functionalities and capabilities of our own blockchain. So how much time will it take? I don't know. But the moment we launch all the processes, the moment we figure out everything we need from the blockchain, and that's where I can actually identify the timeline. So far the timeline is to be discussed. So when are you going to have stacking? So stacking takes time. Please give us some time. We are mostly focused on the services. So we are launching services as we speak. And I guess that a couple of weeks later, and then we're going to have stacking once we launch all the services. Should we have 2 or more nodes in one location? Should you or shouldn't you? They will work, of course, and that will generate tokens for sure. For me, it's a little bit less ideal. I'd rather prefer 1 node per location, but if you want to, you can do it, no problem. How many nodes will you have installed and connected before the end of the year? Well, it's my question to you, by the way. Let's flip it, because it doesn't depend on me or Igor. It depends on everybody else here, on you, on the way we're going to work together. So it's a team effort. Like I said, we need as many as possible, a minimum of 1,000. So because the smart contract starts with 1,000 nodes, because we can, create all the very cool services based on 1,000 nodes. But here's the point. Corporates require more. For example, a corporate, came up and they want 5 petabytes data. That's 1,000 terabytes per. So that's 5,000 terabytes. Think about it. That's what companies want from us. We cannot give them that kind of capacity because we don't have it at the moment. We don't have that many nodes. If within this year we can actually push out 2 million nodes, sure, no problem. We're going to be kings of the world. And there are companies out there, and some people from India said that, yes, we can hit 1 million nodes. But other than India, there are other countries. We can hit 1 million nodes by end of the year, 2 million nodes, or anywhere in between. I don't know. It depends on you. Are we going to drop price or offer any discounts on nodes? Absolutely not, because the price of CPUs and hardware keeps rising, by the way. If you've seen Bitcoin, by the way, you want it to 2x, by the way, guys, try investing in SSD chips, because they actually go in price much, much higher than the Bitcoin. So we're trying to resist that, and we subsidize a lot of the costs, but we're definitely not going to, drop any price on that. How wide is going to be Dexnet? Well, as wide as possible. As wide as possible. How many Dex mobile users are you going to have by end of 2024? Yuri, let me answer all of these questions. Let me try to convey my philosophy. I don't want to stick to the numbers, because this is a limiting factor. If I say, okay, I swear to God that by end of the year we're going to have 1 million users of our Dex mobile. But what if my potential, my upside is 10 million, but I don't even know that. I don't want to limit myself by 1 million. I want to be as big as possible. Some people say, I agree, some people disagree, but I know from practice, from my life, that it's a very limiting factor. And I'm giving you a specific example. For example, I set the goal to deploy 500 nodes. That was my goal, to have 500 meta boxes. And based on that, deploy our services. That's my goal. Have I reached it? Yeah, I actually overachieved it, because we have already shipped 700 nodes. And we actually have like 2,000 in pre-orders. And we're just getting started, So I don't want, for me, the sky is the limit. I don't want, I could have never imagined that a member of the royal family of Abu Dhabi will be one of my clients. And we're sitting in our office, drinking tea, talk about life, and happy to see each other, etc., and hugging and kissing and whatnot. I could have never imagined that these kind of guys that I've never seen before, only on pictures, will be in my office. So I mean, you know, I'm receiving. I'm in receiving mode. I will receive and convert as much as possible. Yes, of course, there is the roadmap. There's a certain milestone, but that's not cast in stone, and that's like a minimum, very conservative goal, what we say. But the sky is the limit, so I want to be as ambitious as possible. So how many countries are you going to cover with Dex Mobile? I don't know. Very difficult to predict that, unfortunately. Okay, moving on. Andre wants to know, how will the pandemic, COVID, or any other pandemics affect sales of nodes or using any apps on Dexnet? What's going to happen to the Dexnet price of token on exchange? Well, look, it mostly affects businesses that are offline, like barbershops, coffee shops, supermarkets, etc., etc. So when it comes to online, I mean, look at Zoom, what they did during the COVID. So it's only going to make us stronger, trust me. It's not going to affect us in any way. It's just going to make us stronger. So what's going to happen to the price of token on the exchange? It's going to go up. And it's going to go up only if the supply exceeds, if the demand exceeds the supply. If it's the other way around, then it's going to go down in price. But my idea, of course, is to make sure that the demand exceeds the supply. And I'm actually interested and have a vested interest in that, as well as Igor. We want to make sure that the price goes up. Nobody wants the price of token to go down, of course, nobody. What happens to the company if something happens to Alexey Kedo, to the CEO? Well, it will continue. Look at Igor, for example. Igor will continue, of course. Even if some of us die, Igor will continue, right? No. Because he has passed the critical point. He has passed the no return. So how much upside do you see for the technology development? Well, the conditions right now are perfect, because I keep saying only the good things about the company, but it's a fact. We're in a very sweet spot. We are actually even stronger than anywhere else. I mean, this is like a perfect time. Like, think about it. Think about it. We have, as our partner, as we speak, in a nutshell, we are in a very strong position. We have the technology, we have the production, we have logistics, we have sales department, we have support line, we have services coming up, we have a token on the exchange. A representative of this exchange came from Singapore to our office. These guys never visit anybody's office. That guy came to our office from Singapore. Think about that. Yes, this guy, representative on exchange, where we placed the token, so came to us and we discussed the future of the token. I mean, it never happens. So we are in a very strong position right now, in a perfect position, so that even if we stop here, the technology will continue to evolve. And my nature is to evolve. I mean, our team nature is to evolve. You know, the whole, look at Igor, look at myself. Like, imagine, we leave office, we go back home at midnight, and Igor is married. He has 4 children, and his wife is calling, Igor, what the hell are you? How about sex? You know, Igor, sorry, wife, you know, I'm busy working. So, and that's what happens every day. And we actually, so basically work 24/7. So we're workers. We pretty much work 24/7. And that's my philosophy. I'm tired when I'm not doing anything. I'm tired on vacation. I hate vacations. I need to pull load. You know, and everybody's like me. That's the whole team, basically. Like attracts like. That's the whole point. We are in the same boat, by the way, and we are in the best way. Like, we are in the right time, in the right place, with the right people. You can say a lot of things, but the fact that we are in the sweet spot right now, in ground zero, I mean, it's just I mean, we don't want to miss out on this opportunity, definitely, and that's why we're doing this 24/7, because, you know, make hay while the sun shines, as they say, right? That's what we're doing, and that's exactly why we are going to continue to hit the roadmap, myself and Alexey. So I mean, we're not going to stop until the goal is reached. That's it. Thank you, Igor. Next question, so from Alexey. Are you planning to create a venture fund to fund potential, you know, ideas and startups? Alexey, you're not gonna believe, we don't have this in the pipeline, but at least several times I had this idea in my mind. Why not in one of the UAE Emirates to create a Silicon Valley that can be like the one in the United States, where we can actually invite all the best software developers and technology developers. I have this idea. I've never discussed it with anybody, not with Igor, not with Sheikh Majid, but I had this idea to create a Silicon Valley in the UAE. So potentially, yes, why not? Are you doing charities, and what kind of charities? So as a company, we don't do any charity. I mean, there are billions of things that we need to do, but myself and Igor, yes, we're doing charity. For example, I myself, I have been an ashram in India, and every Monday, for example, I'm covering their full costs. That's my personal thing. Nobody knows about it. This is not a PR exercise, but since you asked me, that's what I do. And charity it's a double-edged sword. I mean, because if you just gave money to a homeless guy, that's not charity. I mean, you're doing actually worse, because this guy will probably take some drinks and maybe kill somebody or get even worse. So sometimes it's good not to give money, and actually it was your fault because you gave this guy money. So it's law and effect, the causation, correlation, and the butterfly effect. So you need to be aware of what you're doing. So one thing is just to give money, a handout, and a totally different thing is when, as a charity, you're actually doing something good. So are you planning to convert products into indexes? I don't understand the question, so most likely no, but I'm not sure I understand the question. Next question from Vasily from Norway. According to Vitalik Buterin, the founder of Ethereum, to achieve full decentralization can be done by simplifying the nodes. And this is possible through the so-called citizenship-less person, where Amazon Web Services and other providers like AWS, for example, are used, etc. So, I mean, that guy controls more than 60% of all nodes. And he says that it takes 10 to 20 years to solve this technology, to solve this problem. So in your mind, of course, what will be the share of the market of Dexnet in the future? And how much time will it take you to solve this problem? Great question. I've already answered it. But let me take a deep dive. The way I see this potential, again, over the next 10 years or so, and unlike competitors, we are already in, we are already on. What do competitors do? They're trying to solve it using outdated, centralized architecture, like Amazon Web Services, for example. 60% of all nodes is centralized. We are decentralized. So Amazon is trying to solve the problem by using an outdated technology. And there are many companies that try to create decentralization based on centralization. It's impossible, because they're using an outdated technology that was never meant to be decentralized. I'm trying to look, here's the point. Any technology is only as strong as its weakest link. Think about it. You are only as strong as the weakest link. So the weakest link of any technology out there is the hardware part. The hardware, it's the weakest link because it's centralized. We were the first one. We pioneered decentralization on the hardware basis. So we're basically spreading this apart. We are basically trying to create both software and hardware decentralization. So, and even with 250 nodes connected, so we can start offering services and flow money into the system so that we can push it even more. A lot of companies are not changing and not even touching the hardware. They're only fixing the software part. It's an old equipment, old servers, cables, across the bottom of the ocean, etc., etc. Nobody wants to do that. But unfortunately, you cannot solve decentralization with software alone. Instead, what we've done is started from ground zero. But so the competitors are only trying and thinking. Instead, we are already deploying. So we're several steps ahead. So answering your question about decentralized internet, it'll take about 10 years, maybe less. It depends on the scope. It depends on the speed. But I cannot give you a specific date, but there will be time for decentralized internet. But it's like a long shot. Next one from Uzbekistan. Can Dexnet and services potentially impact the world crypto market? Well, yes, why not? And I'm sure that once we hit critical mass, we will start affecting crypto market for sure. Decentralized Dexnet wallet, how secure is that? Well, it's as secure as it can be. This is going to be the most secure wallet in the world. This is a fact. There will never be a more secure wallet than Dexnet wallet, trust me. Just for your understanding of how safe and secure that wallet is, despite the fact that we're still testing it, I hold all of my assets in that wallet already. The wallet is still in beta, and I already trust it more than any other third-party product on the market. Think about it. Okay, next question. So when are you going to start? Well, the start already was December 15th. The technology already started. The nodes are being deployed. The nodes are being connected. We're scaling up. So yeah. We are, like I said, launching services as we speak, and more people are using it. So how are you going to distribute rewards for staking and for the wallet? Okay, Igor, why don't you handle this question, please? Let me explain. It's very easy. So when the first block is launched, so you are going to get a certain amount of tokens daily. If your DEX rate is 1, which is the best, so you are going to receive the maximum amount of tokens for the block. And these tokens are divided automatically 50-50. 50% goes into staking, and you set the period, and the other 50 goes into your immediate access. And that 50% can be, like I said, exchanged or sold or paid as currency for the services, whichever you like. So, like I said, 50% will be stacked and 50% will be used as payment. So you'll have basically two wallets. First one is for stacking, and the other wallet is free access. You can do with your tokens whatever you want. You can have another wallet, etc., if you want to use these tokens to your heart's content, so to say. Thank you, Igor. And next question, what about stacking? Can you give us case studies? We cannot give you cases. And Igor, please tell us more about the way stacking is going to work. The way stacking works, look, there are several parameters. It's going to be 3, 6, 12, and 36 months. So when that 50% of the reward goes into stacking, yeah, in stacking, you set the period, you set the time. And each time, each lockout is, for example, it's like a separate pool. If you are in a 3-month stacking, that's going to be 3 million tokens in that pool. So if you're in that pool, then you send it for 3 months. If not, then for 6 months. You choose whatever pool is available. And by end of the stacking period, of course, you get an accrual of stacking with a multiple, and then you'll have access to these tokens, and you can sell it or use it as currency or for services or whatever. So stacking has got to be very easy mechanics, and it's all available in your personal office, so you can have access to it anytime. So when can I receive rewards and sell it? And in what stacking can I restack it? So will there be an automatic restacking of rewards? Look, the moment, like I said, we launched the first block, like I said, the moment we have 1,000 nodes connected, that's where we can initiate the first block. And that's where you can start using UR. So 50% is always on stacking. So when the stacking period is over, then you can start using it. But the other 50% is in free access. You can do whatever you want with them. And these 50% that you have access to, you can restack it. So you can actually have all of your tokens stacked. You can convert from the other 50% to the 50% that is stacked. And for those who... So if you have a node and it's much better to actually have a node and receive tokens than simply use the tokens. So any rewards, of course, can be immediately stacked if you want to. Of course, answering your question, so your rewards can be immediately stacked. So how can I pay for products for Dex Cloud, Dex Mobile, or topping up my account in online games, etc., using tokens? Let me handle it. So you can pay in USDT or in Dexnet token. If you're using Dexnet token, that is going to be 20% cheaper versus paying in USDT. So, and that means that you're going to be motivated using Dexnet token instead of USDT. You're going to go and buy Dexnet tokens on an exchange, and you can save 20% on that. So payment is very easy. For example, DexCloud, basically you subscribe your Wallet Connect via QR code, yeah, and basically your wallet with the token is then connected, is back to the cloud. So you can, for example, pay your data storage or monthly or annual, whatever. The same for Dex Mobile. You buy eSIM, paying for USDT or your token, and the same for gaming, for example. So games are only available for, and it depends on the game. The games that we currently have in the pipeline is a strategy game, and you can only use Dexnet token. 2, 3, 5, whatever, multiple participants on the same game field, you know, capturing a planet basically with the nodes. Let's just, in a nutshell, it's a very simple game. So participate in the game. You basically use a crypto wallet. Yeah, the game is built on blockchain, on smart contract. So, and the idea is that you basically subscribe via your wallet. For example, you donate 20 Dexnet tokens, and all gamers, basically all players, have the same 20 tokens stacked. Let's say there's 3 of you playing the game, and that means that you have 60 tokens for that game. So, and whoever's lost, basically you 20 tokens, and whoever wins gets the jackpot, gets the 60 tokens. We charge a commission of 20%, and that's how the revolution is happening. So our games are designed, it's like a utility for the token, yeah, because using our token you can buy for achieves, for add-ons, for extra stores, for extra gear, etc., etc., etc. So, and of course you can also make money by playing games, so, and get paid in tokens. So if you're 30, for example, and you're playing an online game, no wife will complain, of course. And if your wife complains, says, why are you out of work? I say, I am working. I'm playing game and, you know, getting my tokens. Okay, tell us about the development team, and tell us about whatever the issues you're going to solve with this new blockchain, and what kind of existing ecosystem are you going to base this new blockchain on? How many tokens are going to be there, and how are you going to exchange Dexnet tokens onto the new ones? I think this is a question that's a bit early about the blockchain, but in a nutshell, let me just explain that. Like I said, we are basically starting to work on the blockchain. This month, basically, we've started working on this new blockchain. And we're now figuring out everything we need for this new blockchain. But in a nutshell, let me just say that this blockchain will be used, if you look, for example, if you use Bitcoin, or if you use Ethereum, these are very powerful nodes and they consume a lot of electricity. The difference of our blockchain versus anybody else's is that it uses so-called like low power nodes. It consumes less electricity, so the mining will use less electricity. So our nodes are not designed to mine or validate tokens. It's like a different mechanism. So it's a very exciting technology, and I'll later show you the details, okay? I'm just doing this high level presentation. So our team, and we have a dedicated team developing blockchain, our own blockchain that uses low power nodes, unlike Ethereum or Bitcoin. So next one is Marat from Minsk. Just like any other company, there are pros and cons to any business. Can Dexnet fail? Well, look, Marat, anything can fail. The sun can fail. I mean, don't turn it into precious. You remember, like the golem in Lord of the Rings? Be realistic about it. Don't get crazy. Be realistic, and don't create unexpected, ungrounded expectations. People get disenchanted when their expectations exceed reality. So be realistic about it. So we have official information from myself, from Igor, on the website, during webinars, etc., etc. Use this data. Don't, and please filter out data that you see on the net, because there's so many he said, she said, whatever, and there's a lot of people that misconstrue situation, and distributors and partners, etc. I've seen a lot and I've read a lot of things, and sometimes just go online and join a webinar, just like a random webinar, without, you know, exposing myself, like, you know, doing incognito, so to say, yeah, as a mystery shopper. And I'm listening to what people are saying about our company, and it's just like, I had no idea, for example, that we had this and that. So people telling stories that don't exist, and because of that, there's a lot of broken phones, so to say. So please, to don't get enchanted, stay realistic. So what we're doing is a decentralized cloud. The idea is to have a decentralized internet. When it comes to the cloud, everything's clear, and all we need is more nodes. We need to launch it. Even on 250 nodes, it's enough to do cloud, but on a small scale. But we need more. For decentralized internet, of course, we need more nodes, and a lot more nodes. Let's be honest with that. So that's facts, okay? I'm giving you straight up facts. Please use facts, and this will guarantee that you will be satisfied. Are you going to have a public offering, or maybe selling to Google, Microsoft, or any other strategic investor, if in case of a mega successful development? Well, honestly, that's not on my radar. So Dexnet is my baby, and I'm not planning to sell my baby to anybody, okay? I love my baby, why would I sell it? And speaking of IPO, I've never thought of that. Maybe, I don't know, maybe sometime in the future, but that's not my priority. We have a different strategy here. So my strategy is not to go public. So I mean, there are other things, other ways to make money other than IPO, trust me. During the launch event, you mentioned that the World Expo that was supposed to be on the beginning of this year. So did you participate, and what was the outcome of this? Yeah, Igor, please share details about this event. Yeah, the event itself was rescheduled, and there were reasons for rescheduling, but it's actually good for us because at that time we were not ready. In February, we're not ready. Right now, we are much more ready. So, and we're planning the launch of products and services. And the moment they're going to hold it, it was going to be in April 24th, 25th, and 26th of April. It's going to be a big event in Dubai. So, and we are planning information on Invest World Expo, and also on the website, and etc. etc. So we want to be fully prepared, and we're going to have this event in April, like I said, and then give you the update. But it's going to be a big event, and we're very excited about it. And this will make waves, so to say, and especially in the Emirates, this is going to be a well-recognized company, and then the rest of the world, because everybody's going to be talking about it. So we're now preparing for the launch of this event. So April, so stay tuned for April for this big event. Okay, there's also a number of questions from Alexey, Pavlograd, Ukraine. Okay, let me go through these questions. So 7 questions out there. So do you have a 10-year plan? Okay, please share your vision for the next 10 years. Look, over the next 10 years, we are planning to have 1 billion nodes. We are planning to deploy all possible services that can be decentralized. But in general, if you ask any business owner, any entrepreneur, what's your 10-year outlook? They're gonna lie to you, most likely, because who knows? I mean, look at ChatGPT and other technologies. Who the hell knows? I mean, plans die sooner than they're born. So it's not about 10-year planning. It's about being agile and pivot, like Darwin said. You know, it's about the ESS. It's not the strongest species that survive, but the ones that are capable of change. It's about understanding change and adapting to change. So those are the companies that survive. The second question, how can you make sure that the client's funds are secure? Well, we don't store any client funds. We sell equipment and software. We don't store any of your funds, and we only store our own funds. So third question, what about the KYC and AML procedure, considering that this strengthening legislation when it comes to money laundering around the world. Coming back to the previous question, so we don't store any client funds on our system, so we don't care about that. Fourth question, can you definitively say that technology and the tools being used by the company when it comes to client funds are safer than the Swiss bank deposit? Oh my God, Alexey, okay, once and for all, we don't store any client funds, so please don't worry about it. Are you planning to use any tools that can be used for the company? I mean, you're talking maybe development tools, right? Can I also make money without investing my own funds? Okay, via the partnership network. Well, okay, Alexey, so Dexnet doesn't have any partnership networks. So there's one company, Dexnet, and Dexnet, all we do is developing hardware and software. That's all we do. We develop hardware and software. I mean, real physical devices, yeah, and the software for it. Also, there are companies that we've entered agreements into, and these companies help us promote this technology and equipment. And these companies can use and deploy whatever marketing strategies, including affiliates, yeah, affiliate programs. They can use it, but our company don't. Sixth question. So what about your affiliate parties or end beneficiaries? So in case the client dies, look, we don't have KYC. We don't understand the client. All we do is the email. We don't even store passwords. We don't know your passwords. We don't store your passwords. So when you push the recovery, it's not us sending you a new password. The system itself generates the password, and passwords are stored in a coded, ciphered way. My team, we don't see the passwords. All we see is the email. So when it comes to client dying or whatever, so develop a will. It's called a will. And in that will, basically make sure that you stipulate that in case of your death, then the inheritance goes to your daughter or your wife or whoever is still alive. Okay, so it's up to the will. I use the lawyer. Are you planning to train your clients in terms of investments, legal, and other types of knowledge? I guess it's more of a marketing campaign. We don't have any plans to do that ourselves. We don't have the ability to do that. We don't accept investments. We don't invest. It's a different animal. It's a different focus. All we do is technology. Okay, and my idea is to deploy technology and scale it up with your help, of course. But that's the whole point. But what you ask is more of a marketing company. So, and in those companies, of course, marketing companies, I know they're doing a lot of training and doing a lot of support, including financial literacy support and legal literacy, because you get a tool, and with that tool, you can make your life and life of your family a little bit better or mighty better. So financial literacy, of course, is very important, but we don't do it ourselves. But a marketing company is not an investment company, so please make sure you understand the difference. Thank you for that question. Are you planning, wait, no, the venture investments, already covered that. Yeah, I already covered that about the venture fund. Okay, moving on to the next question. What technologies or data processing technologies you believe have the best potential when it comes to precision of Dexnet algorithm in the future? What technologies or methods? Well, anything that has to do with decentralization. So as long as it decentralizes, as long as we can actually keep humans out of it, I love it. Okay, I love things that don't involve humans. I love to automate. My mind is designed so that I automate things. That's my nature. I love automations. I believe that people, in a good sense of the word, are being used in a very inefficient way. I believe that a human being is so creative by nature that it's so close to God, basically. Forgive me for, I hope I'm not stepping on anybody's religious feelings, but to use people as a waitress or doing something mechanical, all of that can be automated. In Europe, for example, in McDonald's, you know that it's served by robots, by the way. And I think that's the right thing to do. Because, you know, think about it. I mean, for a very small amount of money, you're serving as a waitress. Why not focus on creativity? Because why would you be a waitress? You're doing it not because you love carrying food, but because that's all you can do and you want to make money. Now think about it. If that human being doesn't care about money anymore, imagine if you're not working for money, most likely you're going to do something creative, something that gives you fun, gives you pleasure. And the way we're designed, we are only happy when we bring value to other people, when we create. When you create things, you are happy. When you bring value to society, you are happy. That's the only way to live a happy life. So of course there are a lot of perverts, so to say, get violent or murderers or whatever, but these are like mentally ill people. I'm talking about like honest people. Most people are wired to be helpful to other people and be creative and to understand why they're here in this world. So that's my idea. The whole idea behind Dexnet is to relieve people from mechanical duty so they can focus on their creativity, something that's fun and something that is aligned with their passion, and so that people stay out of technology. The whole idea is to set up technology, because today you wake up in a good mood, tomorrow you wake up in a bad mood. You push the right button, something goes bad. So we make sure that it's totally automated so that people don't get access to it, and that's a DEX, decentralized. That's the whole point behind it. Okay, next question. Igor from Kiev. Where in what cases are you going to use referral? For what services? Okay, let me come back to it a little bit later. Okay, because I will talk about services and their advantages. At this point, the main focus for the referrals is with the marketing side. Okay. Любовь from Ukraine. When Elon Musk will install one of your nodes, I think I will give it as a gift. I don't want Elon Musk to buy my node. I will give it as a gift. Yes, and imagine, for example, myself and Igor, we could have never imagined that we'll give a node as a birthday gift to a prince, member of the royal family, to a sheikh, a node. Can you imagine that? Sheikh Majid has a birthday, and he and his team came to our office. We had a cake, yeah, and we gave him a present. Yeah, he came, and by the way, we didn't invite him. He came himself, by the way. We gave him this node as number one. So Sheikh was very, very happy about the fact that he has the first node. He was very, very happy. It was awesome, by the way. You can imagine in several years, for example, we're going to have Elon Musk in our office. Why not? We have great tea, great coffee, great cake. So why not? I mean, who knows? Sky's the limit, right? Why limit yourself? I mean, just dream and dream big. That's what we want to do. Okay, Arima wants to know, is DEX the future? No, it's the present already. It's already the present. Dexnet is already the present, not the future. Will I be able to use my Dexnet card for any payments and wirings? You can pay for whatever services, yes, but in terms of wiring, I don't know about it. But in terms of payment, yeah, yes, you can use Dexnet card to pay for whatever services you want. Andre wants to know, okay, how many nodes do you need connected to reach critical mass so that the system cannot be affected from outside? Look, Andre, the more nodes we have in the system, the better. The less, burn the ships, take the island, so to say. So right now, like I said, we have 250 nodes connected, maybe even more, like 30, okay, but let's say 30, okay? So look, we have 300 nodes connected. So, and that's already big. So you can't roll it back, but you can still affect it, of course, but because right now we basically accrue 100 tokens per day just for connecting the node. It's not done via smart contract. And at any point, we can actually withdraw that. We can disconnect it by demotivating you, yeah? Which is going to be very bad. But the moment we have 1,000 nodes, a smart contract is launched. And from that point, it's going to be done fully automated. I will not be able to affect tokens from that point on. It's going to be automatic. And you need to find 1,000 people and explain to these people, please switch off your devices, etc., etc. But who would do that? Most of these will say, F you. Of course, right? Because these nodes bring me tokens, and these tokens I love. I can use it, I can pay for services, or I can sell it on an exchange and make money. So, and that's where you have this critical mass, and that's where the system becomes self-sustaining, where you've passed the point of no return. So, like I said, consider it 1,000 nodes. Yes, you can affect myself, my team, etc., etc. But even if you affect me physically, it will not affect the system. Okay, because we already have 4 services, and there'll be more. Even if we only have Dex Cloud, that service alone is enough, because the system becomes self-containing, self-sustaining, and people get nodes. They can actually use it to store data, and for this data to be stored there, you need a token. Where do you get the token? They can only get the token via the smart contract that is available, because the nodes are there. So the system becomes looped, and it cannot be affected from outside. So when the nodes get into clusters, how are you going to bring the clusters together? Look, we're going to use satellites for this. And if you think that's expensive or complicated, it's not. It's actually not that complicated. To start it, we used swarm satellites. But the point is that swarm satellites are not in every node, because sometimes I see that a swarm modem, they say that, well, swarm is in every node. No, we only needed swarm modems to launch a mobile operator on that technology, and then we disconnected. We don't need it anymore. It was just the point of centralization. We didn't need that. It was required only as a push, and then we shut down this technology. And after that, we're going to use our own satellites. And please don't manipulate, because you're like, oh my God, Dexnet is launching their own satellites. Please buy the node. No. It's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen in 1, 2, or 3, maybe even longer. But we have an understanding of what kind of satellite and how much they cost. We are in negotiations with Launchpad so that we can launch the satellites into space, etc. So we are working in that direction. And by the moment we understand that we are ready, then we're going to launch our satellites. So, by the way, we can have like a short break, because like people need to pee and all of that. And we can also talk about the services that are currently in the pipeline. And like I said, never been done before, and this is something that we need to do. So we are going to disclose a little bit, give you a sneak peek. It wasn't planned, but we're going to give you a sneak peek of what's in the pipeline in terms of services. We're going to demonstrate 2 services, and I think that's going to be exciting for people, okay? And then we can come back, okay, to the list of questions, if that's okay for people, okay? Because I'm sure people need a little bit of a break. We are planning in terms of launches. Like I said, Dex Cloud is in the pipeline, and Dex Safe, crypto wallet. So, and there were questions, how safe are they, etc., etc., etc. And is it safe to store data on that wallet, etc. So Alexey already mentioned about the safety. But when it comes to me, let me actually give you a sneak peek of what basically happens. Yeah, sure. Let me talk about the safety. Well, first of all, it's a fully decentralized wallet. There's no one single server that has access to that wallet. It is fully alive on your smartphone, okay? It is fully alive on your smartphone, and every new integration for that wallet will be deployed on our nodes. So the wallet itself is directly connected to a blockchain, directly connected to the blockchain. So we don't store any information. So, and we're going to have a separate audit for that wallet, and we're going to have the so-called back bounty. So, and this is for white hackers. Basically, we're going to basically pay hackers to break into our wallet, and we're going to actually announce the reward for that. And anyone who's going to try to jailbreak, if they succeed, of course, we're going to pay the amount that we promised. But the key word is if they're capable to do that, because it's unbreakable. And it's not going to be a wallet. It's going to be safe. We like the word safe because it's like in a safe. It's very secure. We don't want to call it a wallet. It is a wallet, but we don't want to call it safe. I think it's a much better word. So, and that's what you see basically. When you log in, that's what you see. That's the safe. And to open, you need to press here, leave a fingerprint, and that's how you open it. So that's the beginning of what's to come. And we are, so if you dive in, so that's the safe. You got this page. That's the front page of Dex Safe, world's first totally decentralized crypto wallet. And I'm not going to show you anything else. Wait for the presentation, stay tuned. And before every launch of every product, we're going to have a separate online presentation of the product, and we're going to do it jointly with you. So please stay tuned. In a couple of weeks, we're going to definitely do it. And like I said, over the next month and a half, you'll see a lot of services launched like that. But that's the front page. Alexey, if you have anything to add, please go ahead. Or if not, then I will move on to the second. I'll move on to the second one, please. Yeah, because I don't want to go into the long-winded explanation. Sure. Okay, so that's the wallet, okay? You can download it, you can use it, whatever you want. Sure. Moving on to the next thing. The next service. It's called Dex Cloud. And we also talked about the Dex Cloud. And just a couple of words about what makes a Dex Cloud unique. The unique thing about Dex Cloud is that the picture is in the envelope and the envelope is shredded, etc., etc. Basically, it's a file that is encoded in the container, and the key to opening that container is only with you, because you're the client, you the owner, me, my team, etc. Nobody else has access, physical or technical access to the data. You're the only one who has access to the data. That's the security of the technology. So, and if your question was like, for example, if like KGB comes up and says, hey, we need access, even if I could, even if they pay me $1 billion, I will not be able to do it because technically it is impossible. Okay, for that case, I mean, the only way you can get access is if I find the actual owner of that information, because you're the only one who has access to the key. So that's the landing for Dex Cloud. Okay, let me do it again. And every service will have their unique logo. I mean, the overall style is very similar to the Dexnet, but it's different. But even here, so you see a cloud and this octagon, a node, and the logo itself. So basically, safe and secure and fully transparent data storage, and more to come. But for now, of course, all in good time, of course, so stay tuned for the full presentation. So for now, that's the front page. So like I said, everything's being done, so there's a lot of work being done. So everything is prepared for the launch. So it's going to be, over the next 30 days, there will be a lot of announcements, let me just say. So stay tuned for that. So, and what we discussed, like I said, as far as the roadmap, and look, originally when we set the roadmap, we thought it's going to be like this month, that month, whatever month. But you know, life is life. You step, that things happen. For example, the Dex Safe. I mean, it actually came out much sooner. We had no idea. We thought that maybe it will be like second quarter or maybe second half of the year, but we actually managed to pull this off, a lot quicker. So, like I said, plans are plans, and just like Alexey, for example, all of my assets are being transferred to that safe because it's the most secure solution for storing funds. So when it comes to the cloud solution or the wallet solution, they are going to be very, very popular. And we're going to capture a lot of real estate with that. Trust me. That's a fact. That's a fact. And because all these services, by the way, are designed, and you have 30 more days to hit the promotion numbers. I understand that everybody's waiting for the last day, for the last hour, but trust me, you got to be disappointed. Start early, because we're going to do everything that we promised. And if you're holding yourself back before you're 100% on in terms of your promo, okay, I got to wait on the sideline. Let's see. I mean, these services will come out, but you got to lose time. You had a lot less time to hit the promotion numbers. And the Maldives event, it got to be fun. Trust me. I would like to meet you personally, all of you. I know that the key leaders are must-have guys. I want to meet you in the Maldives, all of you. I can't even imagine if the key people, the core team of the marketing companies don't hit the promotion numbers. I'll be very disappointed. And during that meeting in the Maldives, we're going to, present all the services, and we have a lot of things that we don't want to talk about, but that will be introduced for the first time and unveiled in the Maldives. So, and trust me, what we're going to announce in the Maldives is going to be like dropping a bomb. And all these solutions will be very, very scalable. And look, even for the Dex Safe, for example, it's the easiest thing to sell. Think about it. You're selling safety and security, the safest way to store your funds, your crypto assets. So that will be up and running, and by the time we hit the Maldives. So, by the way, there's a promotion for the Maldives, and the 15th is the end date for the promo. So please, the number of seats is limited, but you guys still have 30 days before the end of the promo. So you can travel there personally and meet there and get the latest news and join the power team. Thank you, Igor, for that, guys. What I suggest is that we're going to wrap up the remaining questions. I'll try to be very, very quick because we only hit 50% of the questions. There's still the same. I've only covered 50%, so I'll try to cover as many as possible. Okay, to make sure that nobody feels disenfranchised. Second round. What strategic steps are you planning to do over the next couple of years to improve infrastructure of decentralized financial networks and to improve Dexnet positions on the market? Look, exactly what I've said. Like, it's the same way, same step-by-step approach via services. Like, what kind of strategies are you planning to engage to attract and retain the best software developers in your team? Well, it's about the attitude. It's just the way we treat our team. I don't even call my employees employees. It's a family. I treat my people as a family. We're all in the same boat, and we all share the burden, and we have a very different relationship versus like a regular company. And the technology itself is unique. And for example, I get invitations from software developers that they don't have a CV, they don't have a LinkedIn profile. These are software developers from giant software developers, and they hide these people because these are best of the best, and they can be hunted, etc., etc. That these kind of people that actually find us and invite us to collaborate, because what we're doing is changing the world. So these kind of partnerships. Next questions. What kind of partnerships do you see to enhance your impact? So anything that we can do to have more impact on the market, we will do. And I'm sorry for being so quick, because we need still 50% questions to go. So can any governments ban Dexnet Web 4.0 because they're losing control over the Web 2.0? So can Web 4.0 be banned in any particular country? Yes, they can be banned, of course, but it cannot be eradicated. I mean, there were so many attempts to block torrent. They didn't, and they couldn't. And by the same token for Web 4.0. So what privileges are we going to have to buy apartments in Dubai with built-in nodes? Well, the benefit is that you get a token, of course. When you buy such apartment with node available in it, you get tokens immediately. Okay, are you going to have a crypto wallet as a node? Yeah, no, like I said, we have a crypto wallet. It's a safe. Yeah, because a wallet is too benign. So how many nodes have been sent out so far? More than 700. Our nodes go by the number or by the sale? By the number, of course. Dexnet 1 and more. Because we currently, as we speak, the people that have purchased the node, they have not indicated their data. A certain percentage of people that buy the node but don't indicate the data. Or like, for example, they didn't indicate the index, the mailing, etc. How can I deliver the node without having the address? I need the zip code. If there's no zip code, of course, I need to contact that person and find the zip code sometimes. So the delivery sometimes takes time because people buy the node, they rush in, but they forget to indicate the data or like the address and whatnot. How much is the delivery to Almaty, which is capital of Kazakhstan? I don't know. I don't know because as we're shipping, of course, we'll see the bill at the end of the month. So far, I really don't know what the price of delivery to Almaty is. So what is the delivery time? The delivery time varies. It depends on the country, it depends on the city, from 3 days and all the way to a month. It depends on how far away you are. How come there's no official website with the node numbers and the node queue? Well, I don't see this necessary. How many nodes are shipped and how far away am I in line? Well, I don't know how to do that, but look, we've shipped more than, like I said, 500. But like I said, the moment we actually have more than 1,300 in pre-orders. And the moment we do that, well, for example, the nodes, if you buy it today, it is shipped tomorrow, immediately. So, and there's no queue as such, because the moment you ship the node, it is, the moment you buy the node, it is shipped almost immediately. So, and then as we speak, the nodes are being delivered as we speak, like I said. So, and guys, by the way, if you subscribe to my Telegram chat, can you, by the way, send us videos where you receive notes. As DM me or my assistant, by the way. We're going to have a separate post on my Telegram channel. Just please send us video, because some videos I see, and it's great. I see people happy and their eyes are happy when they take this package and they unwrap it and they connect the node, and it's very inspiring. Oh, just got the number. It's about $60 delivery price to Almaty. Thank you, Igor. So once the node is received, can I connect it immediately? Of course, every day. So connect the node immediately, because you get 100 tokens every day. Next question is about the break-even. There's no such thing as a break-even of a node. You buy the node for USDT and the node generates Dexnet token. It depends on the price of the token. Do you sell it today, or do you hold it, or do you convert it into services? There's no such thing as a node break-even point. Which exchanges will list this token? There's st.com, and there's a number of other exchanges, including tier 1 exchanges, but it takes time and it takes a number of holders to be able to list it. So next question is tricky. Okay, some of the major regulators say that they're going to ban any unauthorized cryptocurrencies. What about your company? Well, as long as it's traded, everything's fine. So of course there will be governments that will shut down certain tokens. So when will staking be available? Will it be available on wallet only, or only, so if I use a 3-month locking, look, Igor already covered that. I don't want to repeat myself about the stacking. So yeah. So you get stacking when you hold it for 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, 36. You get your stack tokens back at the end of the period. And stacking is available in your personal office in Dexnet.1. As far as the wallet or your smartphone, I'm not ready. I'm not sure of that. What Dexnet is based on, and what makes you think that Dexnet token will continue to rise in price? We already discussed that. So nobody can guarantee the fact that the price will continue to go up, but we're doing everything possible to make sure that it keeps going up and it keeps climbing. And we'll do everything possible for the token to continuously go up. That's the whole point. Is it possible to activate the node before it arrives? It's not my fault that I live in Africa, for example, where the delivery takes forever. Is it possible to activate the node immediately after purchase online? Because some people complain that they live far, far away and it takes forever to deliver the node. So we're kind of wasting time. Look, I feel your pain. I feel your pain. But speaking of tokens, look, it's a promo, because the point is that we actually want to accrue tokens for the real value. I mean, the fact that you're receiving tokens right now, you're not getting any real value, but we still do it because you guys are great. You are the pioneers, you early birds, you buy these, and so that's what we pay for. But I don't want to start accruing tokens before the node is actually received and delivered. Then you don't have any motivation to actually get the node. Think about it. The whole idea is that the node needs to be a physical device that brings value. So, and that's why first you receive it and then it generates tokens. So what's the outlook for the token price? We've already discussed that. So where do you see the price of token by end of 2024? I don't know. So what additional services are in the pipeline over the next 6 months? And how far the price will go up? Look, like I said, all the services that are in the pipeline and they were announced. So we don't want to give you fairy tales. So once upon a time, we're going to do this and that. No, we only announce services that are currently under construction, so to say. So how many tokens are farmed per 24 hours? Approximately. Well, right now, it's 100 tokens. But like I said, the moment tokenomics, the moment the first block is launched, it depends on dex rate. If your dex rate is 1, then you get up to 1,000 tokens per day. That's in the first block. And then in the second block will be less, and the third block even less, etc., etc. But also you need the dex rate. The higher the dex rate, the more tokens you're going to get. Considering the fact that a satellite modem is only available for 50% of the nodes, what are you going to do about it? Are you going to? Is it possible to enhance the memory of the node because there's an empty slot? Well, look, it's a micro PCI Express slot, and yes, you can add memory, you can add SSDs, but we don't do it for now. So we only have the available SSDs that are integrated inside the node. And maybe in the future we're going to add something, but I'm not ready to comment on that at this point. Maybe in the future. So is it possible to connect to the node via USB so that we can actually make it even more useful? Yes, yes. We have an idea about it, but I'm not going to announce it at this point. We're going to announce it later. So I will check here. Where do we find stacking? It's Dexnet 1 or DexSafe. It could be DexSafe potentially, but for now it's Dexnet 1. You can see stacking from the market. When you buy from the market, you will find data on in your safe. But for the nodes, you can go to Dexnet.1. Okay. So people are worried about transfer amounts. So can you give us a step-by-step tutorial on how to buy the node? Okay, look, Timur Bhai, there are so many videos about the way you should pay for the tokens and the way you transfer coins and USDTs, etc., etc., etc. There's nothing new under the sun. So, I mean, talk to whoever's invited you to this event, and they can give you step-by-step information. So my node is delivered on the 7th of March. So, and I had to also pay the customs fee, etc. Okay. So the node basically says like 1 CPU, 1%. A RAM is 6.5%. storage is 0%, dex rate, etc. In previous Zoom calls, you said that the dex rate is a very important indicator. So how can I get the dex rate, and how to make sure that the dex rate is the highest number? Look, for now, don't even worry about that. So the fact that there's a dash against the dex rate is that we don't take it into account for now. It's currently automated, so you get 100 tokens per day regardless of your dex rate. That's the point. Once we hit the 1,000 nodes, then the dex rate gets activated, and from that it has to be close to 1. So what you should point out, we should focus on, is the tokenomics. Go to tokenomics. Oh, sorry, wrong. Go to white paper. So the first important point is the bandwidth. So it has to be 15 megabits, upload, and 5 for download. Okay, it's your Wi-Fi basically, and also uptime. The node has to be stayed on. Don't like on, off, on, off. The node has to be on as much as possible throughout the day. That's what makes the dex rate go up. And there are also other things, you can find it in the white paper. Islam wants to know from Kazakhstan. So how many nodes in the network must be available for full decentralization? Well, decentralization is already there. The whole point is that, of course, the more the better, but it's already decentralized. How come that you actually widening the network for sales of hardware? Because I thought that the network is about the software that is available on computers, and the nodes are just mixing the channels. But with limited CPU capacity, why not widen it through regular PCs? Because PCs can be upgraded. And instead, you want us to buy new nodes, including GPUs, because all of that is available on regular forms. Question from Sergey from Israel. Well, I would disagree with you. That's not exactly the same. Look, speaking of Dex Cloud, theoretically, yes, you can use PCs for that, but it's not going to be safe. It's not going to be safe because the idea is that we need to exchange data between the PCs in terms of where on the node and on which node the fragment of that or this or that container is duplicated or stored. You need to exchange the keys, etc. It's very dangerous to do it on a one connectivity channel. We use multiple channels, and that's just the data storage, but we're not limiting our technology just to data storage. There's more, and that's why we are developing it through hardware and not just software, and based on the hardware, then the software is the layer on top of the hardware. So my online speed is 220 megabits. So what if I would like to have like two nodes in the same location? Should I have two different Wi-Fi hotspots or the same Wi-Fi hotspot? And my download and upload is about 4 megabits for upload and 1 megabit for download. But actually, you go to a different tariff, etc. Okay. Look, the higher the throughput, the better. 4 megabits for upload and 1 megabit for download, it's very bad. It's really, really poor internet. If you want two nodes on the same channel with like 20 megabit channel, 20 and 10 for upload and download, or the other way around, that's better, of course. So, I mean, that's more than enough to have a good dex rate, okay? So of the two hotspots available, use the one that's the fastest. Plus, the two nodes are not going to exchange data on the same time because one node, for example, is on, the other one is dormant, and the other way around. So it's not going to affect your Wi-Fi. Previously said that there is a special connector so that I can use the node for as a device itself and also as a hotspot. Well, look, we are not supplying this splier, as we call it. So please use a separate device if you want a hotspot. So it's better to use a hub. Okay, moving on. We're about to finish, about to wrap it up. So several days ago, you had a test on your Telegram channel. So what were the criteria? So how does the node affect the human body? So if, for example, it is in my living room, guys, does it affect or not? Look, it's much safer than your smartphone and your AirPods Pro. It's super safe. The technology is super safe. We measured it in terms of electromagnetic radiation level, etc., in different frequencies and bandwidth. It is safe, absolutely, and I'm not exaggerating here. So it actually illustrated the data. So look, now that we have 5G, do you know how much radiation they actually generate? So, I mean, you can actually sleep with a node, like with a pillow. It's safer to be inside than to go outside. So don't even worry about this. Now, next question. If a crypto wallet or crypto safe is fully anonymous, can I transfer a fund from a verified third-party wallet? Yeah, sure, of course you can do it. Yeah. That's this blockchain technology. You can transfer. The whole point about safety, I mean, what's safer, blockchain or our wallet? Of course, blockchain is less secure than our blockchain, than our wallet. Our wallet is more secure than regular blockchain. But you can transfer funds from and to. And speaking of the test in my Telegram channel, so these were from when we were doing the certification tests, okay? And there's a lot of technical pictures. And these certification guys, they were basically ripping the whole thing apart. Trust me. I mean, because when you do the official certification, CET, for example, and other tests, I mean, they were very, very severe. It's like crash test dummy. Now, just to give you real data, when you go outside, the level of radiation in terms of electromagnetic field is about 10,000 microwatts per cubic centimeter. That's the borderline of what what a human body can handle. Anything goes above 10,000 microvolts per per cubic centimeter is actually lethal. Is actually damaging. So in our case, it's 0.6. So it's 10,000 outside and 0.6 for our node. I mean, all these 4G, 5G antennas outside. Think about the radiation that they create. So our node is super safe. You can place it in your living room and not even worry about it. Okay, moving on. What if the power goes down? Can I use a backup for the node to make sure the Dex rate is there? Of course, you should and you must. I'm not saying you should buy a backup device, but like a power bank. For example, a power bank will do. And the power bank can be charged via the smartphone, so I mean, as a temporary solution. So even if you have a temporary power cut, so the node will continue. So I mean, it consumes 6 watts per hour. It's actually good news, by the way. We haven't announced it yet, but it's actually a low power consuming device, and we're going to make it even more economical. So we actually go down to as low as 3 watts. It's like a semi-dormant state. It consumes very little power, and when you manipulate files or whatever, so it goes up and then it goes back to sleep basically. So it consumes very little power, so it's enough to actually respond to ping. So other files available, then the ping goes in and out, but it consumes very little power, just to make sure you know. Okay, next question. What if will Dex rate be high through data transfer via GSM or swarm satellite if regular internet is down? Swarm satellites do not provide internet. Swarm satellites are low orbital connections as a closed network without access to public internet. So, I mean, if your public internet is down, then it's down, unfortunately. When it comes to GSM stations, unfortunately, yes. If GSM connectivity is down, then in case of an emergency, for example, yeah, of course they have emergency power, but after 12 hours, I mean, if there's no recovery, then even the GSM tower will be down, unfortunately. So if you're out of power, you're out of power, unfortunately, then everything is down. If by that time we make sure that within 5.5 kilometers there's connectivity to other nodes, then they're going to exchange data, and you got to be independent from the GSM tower. And what's the RAM per node? It's 4 gigabytes, but the guideline says it's 8. So is it 8 or is it 4? And the sticker at the bottom says it's 8. Yes, it is 8, but we're going to drop it down to 4 because we don't need extra. Is it possible to add a FAQ section on the website so that there's like advice and tutorials, etc., etc.? Because it's very, very difficult to always go online and join your webinars. Vladimir from Czech Republic. It's a good idea, by the way. We should definitely have a frequently asked questions section. We'll definitely do that. And we'll do it not just for your personal office, but on the official website as well. Is it possible to connect two nodes to the same router? And how is it going to affect data transfer or internet speed? Yes, of course you can do it. It's going to affect it, but minutely, not much. Like two nodes at the same time, I mean, very, very rarely two nodes use the same bandwidth at the same time and just flow a lot of data. That's very rare. Most likely they do it sequentially. How do we make sure that when using Dexnet and crypto card, when I pay in shops, online or offline, how can I make sure that the algorithm, that the amount can be immediately exchanged into fiat, for example, into rubles, so that I have full payment freedom? In that case, Dexnet will become much more attractive because very few people know how to exchange funds, crypto funds into fiat and back. I understand your point, but it's going to complicate the technology. Look, I'm 99% confident that once you get hold of our technology, you'll be actually quite happy about it. And like I said, exchanging like fiat into crypto and back, it's actually a very simple process. Look, in terms of having a certain percentage for your personal use, yes, there will be some percentage reserved, but maybe in the future. Where can I buy the node and what is the price of a node? Asks Alexander from Russia. Alexander, talk to you guys, whoever invited you to join the webinar. They are the partners and also the questionnaire that you filled. So what if there's no other nodes within radius of 5.5 kilometers around? Does it mean that the node will still be operational? Yes, of course it will. I live in Volgograd right now, and Alexander, there's no internet. The node is not for serving as a hotspot, not now. So it has nothing to do with the public internet. So next question. So there was a question about the safety of your wallet. So is it possible to track when you actually put in the PIN code? Is it possible to have a randomized PIN code so that nobody can track? Yes, we actually do that. Yes, even if you have CCTV cameras in a shopping mall, it will not be able to track your fingerprints. So several questions remaining. So what about staking? So staking will be available. Like I said, I'm going to skip that question because already there were questions and already covered that. So next question. So tell us more about crypto bank and the payment card. DexSafe, like I said, and the same for the card. So what can I pay for? Anything. So anything, just like Visa. It's got to be similar to Visa. What about stacking on st.com? So it doesn't have stacking on that exchange. Next one. So is Dexnet an internet router, or does it depend on Wi-Fi? No, it is connected to the router via the cable. So tell us, what if in Kazakhstan we have 20 million people, total population? So then how much time, how many nodes are required so that these nodes become self-sufficient without public internet? Elmira from Kazakhstan. Elmira, yes, it is possible, but it's not about the nodes per number of people, but it's about the quality of nodes. It's about the density of these nodes. Are they overlapping? That's the whole point. So, and that's why I said it's a slow, it's a long-term process. It's not going to happen overnight. So ideally, I would like to automate the token split process. Well, look, Alexander, we don't have investors. I understand what you're talking about, because you use partners and you serve as a partner and you're trying to resell these nodes, but it's not yet available, this functionality. But in future, you will be able to automatically get stacked and available nodes. So, and Mikhail, like I said again, the node is not meant to be a hotspot. So how much electricity? It's 6 watts per hour. That's the electricity consumption. And the node itself doesn't mine. It doesn't mine. We're using a smart contract. Smart contract in exchange of a function. But yes, it has to be switched on. The power has to be on all the time. So right now we use BEP20, so we'll use other networks for the future. Well, Dexnet itself is based on BEP20. For this to use TRC and other technologies that we'll use to use Tron. We're not planning to use Tron because we're going to have our own blockchain, so we're not going to need any other technologies. So far we stay with BEP20. In the future, will I be able to actually top up and withdraw directly from the card? We don't do that, and we're not planning to do that. So you said that you're developing hardware and software as a company, but speaking of payments for the partnership program, yeah, I mean, with that you need to talk to the marketing company. So not Dexnet, we only do software and hardware. So again, so there are a lot of questions about mining. The node itself doesn't mine anything. Will personal office become more secure in the future? Because it's very, very simplistic. So, I mean, it's very easy to access it. Well, why? I mean, it doesn't make any sense. It depends on what you mean by security. I mean, for us, it's secure enough. What are you going to secure? You want to secure information about the way your node operates. There's nothing to secure there. So, and that's why access is so simple. And what if I change the address and I own the node? Do I need to report it to everybody? No, no. If you relocate, the node is yours. I mean, you can travel with it, not just within the country, but anywhere else in the world. It's always yours. So how many years can one node operate? Well, the SSD cycle is the only limiting factor. So other than that, it's a perpetual technology. So, I mean, considering that it has maximum load, it's 7 years, but that's maximum load. It actually worked for a lot longer. So, I mean, you can enjoy it for at least 10 years minimum. So, like I said, we give 1 year warranty. So, I mean, beyond one warranty, it should be okay. But like I said, it will be operational for at least 10 years. So, okay, the next question is about what can I buy for the tokens? Any services available on the token, on the network. So the node generates 100 tokens a day. Who's buying it from us? People, us, But it's not just us, also other people, third parties are buying tokens from you, the tokens that are generated for your node. So what happens if they cut off power for a prolonged time and there's no connectivity to satellite? Well, if the power is off, then the node is off, and the tokens are not accrued once the power is down. In Moscow and St. Petersburg, there's a lot of nodes, but Russia is a very big place. What are you going to do to create that kind of connectivity? Well, nothing. All we need to do is have more nodes that connect clusters between St. Petersburg and Moscow and other locations. Or maybe by that time we'll have satellites that will bring clusters together via the network. Can I connect 3 nodes from the same location? So yes, you can, but you need to talk to the person who told you about the technology. Where do the tokens come from? And how do you generate profit as a company? Great question. So we're going to spend a lot of time on this, but it's very complicated. The tokens are already created. They're not being generated. The tokens are just handed out based on smart contracts for the functions performed by the node. There's no mining as such. So what happens when you have 1,000 nodes? Once we have that 1,000 nodes, we're going to launch the network and the smart contract. Next question. So can I change the connection of the node? Yes, of course you can. Can I sell my node? Yes, you can. If my node has not yet been installed and activated, yes, you can, and resell it, of course. If it's already activated, can you change ownership? Yes, of course. All you do is provide access to your account. Done. The nodes we're buying right now, are they going to go out of date? Will they be 2.0? Well, it's already 2.0, but they can never be obsolete because they keep functioning as designed. Of course, 2.0 will enhance their functions, but the basic function is the same. Is it just the SSD or the CPU? It's both. So there's the SSD and the CPU, but there's no workload on SSD and the CPU because we need critical mass of the nodes. Right now, we're in the process of connecting the node, and that's why the DEX rate is just a dash. There's no number for the DEX rate because we haven't yet reached critical mass. Will the nodes be used for rendering services? No, not in the future. Can I use it as a Wi-Fi router? No. It's not useful as Wi-Fi router. Don't do it. It has the function, and technically as a software, yes, but it puts too much pressure for the processor. So you need it for other things. We will probably activate this function later on, or we'll probably keep it cancelled. What if it breaks down? How can I repair it? Well, if you need to repair it, talk to our support line. So we'll replace it. What about DEX wallet and crypto card? What if I want to buy stocks and futures via DEX wallet? Is it possible without KYC? Yes, it's possible. What is the price for the crypto card? I will tell you later. What bank or what country is the issuer of the crypto card? I will tell you later. Is it possible to have a virtual crypto card? Yes, it can be physical and virtual. The crypto card will be both physical and virtual. Is the price different? Yes, of course, virtual and physical card will have different price. When do we see crypto card? I will tell you later. Well, I mean, within 3 months. Let's say within 3 months you will have crypto card issued. Speaking of DEX Mobile, you said that the traffic is encoded. Will it be as quick as regular mobile companies or not? Well, it's same. Is the same. We'll be able to service video calls, of course. Can I watch YouTube and others? Yes, of course. We had up to 1 gigabit connectivity during tests. If 5G is available, we can do up to 5 gigabits. So, like I said, you can use rich content. So as far as the tariffs go, I will tell you later. Can I use regular fiat or regular bank card to top up my account for DEX Mobile? I'll tell you later. What about the game? Will it be launched? It will be launched. I'll tell you when. Well, The base version will come out very soon, and it's going to get better and better over time, over the coming weeks. Will there be play to earn inside the game? Yes. Will the game have partnership? I'll tell you later. Can you show us the game right now? No, not now, because we're running out of time. We've run out of time. Okay, what else? How many questions we have left? If I'm a corporate, how can I buy a Dex node? Talk to support line and they will give you instructions. So you can actually pay by wire or you can have a contract. Do you have a separate contract for corporates or is it case by case? Can a company in Kazakhstan become a distributor of Freedom or Dex technology? Yes, you can. You need to talk to one of the companies. When are you going to register or join International Financial Center of Astana? We're not planning to join it because legally we're not in Kazakhstan, so we're not planning to do that. By the way, we can operate in Kazakhstan very easily without being legally present in Kazakhstan. It doesn't affect us in any way. Okay, what if I'd like to have 30 nodes at the same time and have a contract for the 30 nodes? Well, whatever contract issues, questions you have, talk to our partners. What can I buy for the 500 tokens? You can pay for whatever the tokens are available. You can sell it on an exchange or you can pay for whatever services available at that time. Okay, hello again. When will the tokens become available? The moment we identify the winner, and you can talk to our support line and you will get the tokens immediately after the show. Okay, I would like to buy a node within the next couple of days. So am I in the 30,000? No, you're not in the 30,000 because it's already shipped. When will the node arrive? The node will arrive, look, the moment we complete the pre-shipments, because we have more than 1,000 nodes currently, about 1,300 in pre-shipping. And we're going to need not a week, maybe 2 weeks, and then after that we'll be able to ship your node. So and then you order the node and it's shipped next day. It's a next day delivery, but it depends on your location. It can take time. Next question. So will I actually hit the first month? No, second month. Only second month of distribution. The first month was already closed. How are tokens distributed by end of 12 months? It's 200 tokens. So okay, thank you for the information, etc., etc. Look, Anton, I'm going to skip this question. It's too complicated. I don't quite understand. I don't even know how to answer it. I mean, in terms of tokens at the end of the 12 months, it's too complicated. Or maybe I just misunderstood the question. So the node itself is $1,500. So it's decentralization and other functions, etc. So something that we've been talking about for the past 2.5 hours. So talk to our marketing company. It's $1,500. You can buy it from them. So Alexey, sorry, I'm eating your pie. It's okay, it's okay, it's okay. I'm in the flow right now. I've left humanity behind already. Can I see the note? What's in the note? What's in the box? Of course, of course. You can look at the note. You can look at the box. You can look at everything inside, etc., etc., etc. You can go to the website. There's a full list of things included, and you can look at the whole thing. There are pictures and etc., etc. What if I buy it in April? Will it be in the first 1,000? No. What about the 30%? I don't know what you're talking about, 30% profit. I've never heard about it. I've never mentioned that. Maybe you just misheard. So once I buy Dexnet, should I invite anybody else? No, it's yours. You buy the node. You can do whatever you want with it. So it's a network business, but it's up to you. So speaking of the marketing company, again, it's a multi-level marketing, but it's up to you. You can participate or you can just stick to your node and get your tokens. It's up to you whether to participate or whether to not participate. And I think that the multi-level marketing is a great way to disseminate knowledge and information, but it's up to you whether to participate or not. But you can earn tokens, like I said, if you don't want to participate in MLM. How much? It depends on the price of a token. But other than that, of course, yeah, you buy a note, you use it, you get tokens, and to participate, to join MLM or not, it's up to you. It's a different source of cash flow. So how long will this company survive? Well, our company will survive for as long as, look, our plans are like a minimum 10 years. Well, it's up to you, of course. Well, nobody knows, but we're here for good. So, okay. You sell DEX nodes, we disseminate it and give it to people and get money and revenue and get benefit. Sure, of course, everybody in the same boat. We all parts of the chain. So, like I said, well, look, the whole point about are we here for good, are we here for long term or short term? Well, if you think that we're not here, we get to be here today, gone tomorrow, then it's going to be difficult for you to join a company. But you need to trust us. Look, for Alexey, that's what he's been doing his whole life, and myself as well. So people are working 24/7, weekends, weekdays, etc., days, nights. I mean, burning midnight oil. So we want to be, we want to be doing this for decades, and not just 1 or 2 years. How can I buy the device, etc.? So I already mentioned that, $1,500. So go to the marketing company if you want to buy it. How to become a partner, make money on MLM as a manager. Go to the marketing company. They will tell you all the details in terms of how to join the system. And whoever gave you the link to this webinar, talk to that person. They have all the data in terms of how to join it. Another question. What's faster, to buy a note for $1,500 or to buy tokens worth the same amount? Look, we don't forecast any break-even points. It's up to you. Look at the market, look at the, if you know crypto market, look at what's happening on the crypto market. It's up to you to decide. So a DEX note should not be used just as a profit point to get tokens and sell them. I don't think it's the right approach. But as far as the DEX token, sure, of course, you can trade it, you can make money on it, make money on appreciation, of course, if the market is good and the token appreciates over time. So it's, like I said, up to you. So as partners of this technology, how can it actually help pump the price of the token? Well, look, the more nodes we have, the higher the price of a token. So if you want the price of a token to go up, so I mean, help us install more devices. Of course, the cap of the market will be going up. So the token price is directly pegged to the number of nodes. So all the services and everything we do, of course, all of that will propel the price of token up. So it's up to you and everybody's job. So, and if you have any idea of how it works, there are tokens that are pump and dump, they go up and then there's nothing behind it. But behind this token is the real company with real devices, with ecosystem, with services and products and everything else. So, like I said, the way you can help is disseminate the knowledge, disseminate the technology, believe in us and help us. That will ensure that the price of token goes up. Like I say, in terms of break-even point, we don't forecast that. It's not a KPI for us, so we don't focus on the break-even. It is used for something completely different, so don't discuss break-even with us. I mean, it's up to you, basically, to calculate the break-even point. Are there any other ways to make money other than buying the note? Yes, you can, of course, talk to the marketing company. You can make money on services, on games, etc., etc., etc. All that, talk to the marketing company. They can give you full details. So it's a weird question, so I'm going to pass it. Alexey, did you get the question? So basically, this guy says they basically go in and they invite other people. etc., etc. I'm not sure that the question is right. I don't understand it. I think it's more the marketing. What he means is the multi-level marketing approach. I think he needs to talk to the marketing company. So again, a lot of these questions you can talk to the marketing company, and they have all this data. So the next question is probably for Alexey. Alexey, you're the genius. Do you realize you're a genius? You're changing the world as we know it. How difficult it is to be a genius because you bear so much responsibility. So in light of that, were you scared when you launched it? Do you have any doubts? Look, speaking of me being a genius and doubts and whatnot, you want an honest answer or you want me just to speak to the camera? Look, of course, I'm a human being, of course, and I have doubts and whatnot. But if you don't have any fear, I mean, you're dead. As long as you're alive, I mean, what's the difference between the coward and the courageous one? I mean, being courageous is not about, it's, yes, you're afraid, but you do it anyway. Then, of course, yes, I had doubts. Will it work? Will it not work? But there's a difference between perseverance and understanding the processes. So when you have an overall understanding, then knowledge actually alleviates fear. When you know what you're doing. When you know what you're doing, you don't fear, you just do. What about inspiration? What drives you? What's your inspiration? Or who drives you? Or who inspires you? Look, in a simplistic way, it's family. I'm a family man, and I'm driven by family. My family is my inspiration, but it's the most valuable thing I have. And that's what inspires me. And I love my wife, I love my children, and that's my inspiration. And I want to be a role model for my wife and my children. So, and when I understand that I have technology and I'm not doing it and I can't, then what will my daughter say in 20 years if somebody else does it? Like, Dad, you're a loser. You were planning to do it, but you didn't. So, and I don't want to feel that way. That's why I want to be accountable to my daughter. And I want to make sure that I pay the price now so that this technology flies and I succeed. Okay, 2 more questions and then we're done, okay? Yeah. So, Alexey, where do you get ideas from? Where do you find inspiration? So all the products and the features and all these ideas, where do they come from for the game, for the mobile, and other things? Where do these come from? Actually, we have all the answers. It's about having quiet in your mind. So when you meditate, you can become quiet. So I meditate a lot every day, at least 30 minutes a day. I meditate where it's quiet. I close my eyes and I stop all thinking. And that's where I can hear my true self, not the noise that comes from the world. And when you can hear yourself and become aware, you will definitely hear things and hear great ideas. But you need to calm your mind and center yourself. My goal is to make 333 million rubles. Is it possible? And give me the answer. Yes or no? That's my goal. This person was, of course it's doable. You can make 300 million and even more. Everything's possible. Why no? It's a great number. 333 million rubles. Why not? It's a great number. And the last one says, I love Dexnet. Great. I love Dexnet too. We all love Dexnet. So look, guys, I mean, we've covered all the questions. It was like a marathon. Yeah, lots of questions. And I know you guys tired, but look, we need to select top 3 questions, right? Because we need to announce the winner. Okay, Alexey, what about you? The top 3 questions. Look, I think the first place goes to... No, let's start from the 3rd one. Okay, the 3rd one, then the runner-up, and then the first one. So, and the 3rd place goes to... Alexander Naumov from Israel. And his question was about meditation. Alexey, please, where you get all these great ideas or creative ideas for products and features? That was the question. Last but not least, you see? So it's a great question. So Alexander Naumov from Israel. So that's the third place. Congratulations, Alexander. Please drop an email. Go to your Dexnet one and introduce yourself. Say, I'm Alexander Naumov from Israel. My question was 109. Please give me tokens. Yes. Okay, and can we give a big hand to Alexander, by the way. The chat is back, so you can actually give us thumbs up. Now, the second place goes to 250 tokens go to. I'd say that the second place goes to Alexander Spummer from Germany. Tell us, how can we as partners and users of Dexnet can help in the development and of Dexnet? It's not just the question, but rather offering help on what needs to be done. Yeah, for the common good. I think it's a great question. So it's the second place. I agree. Alexander, also Alexander, by the way. Congratulations. Write to our support, and they will tell you how to claim your 250 tokens. And first place, the winner, goes, and this. Okay, there was a very interesting question. Let me find it. This first place goes to, I don't know, but I like this question. How did you manage to actually implement all of this? That was the question. Very simple question. How did you do it? I think it's Igor. The question belongs to Igor. Yeah, Igor Mikhailichenko from Kiev, Ukraine. Yes, he had 3 more questions, but that particular question I think is the best. What's the difference between Dex Mobile and the competitors and Dex Wallet from the competitors? Yeah. So the first question, I really like it. It was more of a philosophical question. How the hell did you all do it? It's a great philosophical question. Sometimes I pinch myself like, how did I do it? Well, 500 tokens go to Igor. Congratulations. So that's a record. We've never given so much. And we've never had such long, 2 hours and 30 minutes. 40 minutes, sorry, 2 hours, 40 minutes. That's a lot. But like I said, I promised to handle all the questions. I did that. And so congratulations. And Alexey, thank you for joining us. Thank you for doing this. And it was like a boxing match. This is like 12 rounds. We've taken you to deep waters, so to say, but you did it. So congratulations. Congratulations. And I believe that everyone agrees that we've covered as many questions as possible, and despite the fact that I know a lot, but I was also very attentive and listened to all the answers. So thank you for this. And guys, let me remind you that we have a promo for the Maldives, an event in Maldives. Very little time left, so take your time. Take advantage of this opportunity so you can go to the Maldives. We can meet personally during this great event. So very little time left before it wraps up. So use this promo. And thank you for being with us. Thank you for your questions, especially Alexey. Also, thank you for answers. And I guess until next time. And Alexey, also there's a video, by the way. We're going to show you a very quick video about the Maldives. Yes, guys, thank you very much for being with us for 2.4 hours. And I believe that it was a bit monotonous, sometimes too quick, whatever, but I tried to cover as much ground as possible. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Igor, for being with us, for helping me out. Also, so guys, watch the video. This is a promo, focus on promo, and I'll see you in Maldives. Okay, thanks very much. Enjoy the rest of your night.